and then I'm gonna have to mute it. So I'm staying over here for a second. So good morning, everyone. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. It's 234 right now. Um, uh, we are joining this impromptu, lovely conversation with the beautiful Stacey and Elsa. I love them so much. And the fact that we get to be in a conversation together today in this way, this feels like a reunion because we haven't done this, the three of us, and on screen. I believe not since October, but I could be mistaken. So thank you for coming. Welcome. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi, Mela. Hi, Stacey.
Hi, Elsa. Hi,
It
Mela. Yeah,
feels like
excited.
ages, right?
I know.
A long time.
We were in the throes of dropping code. We've been talking for about 30 minutes, and then we're like, we gotta go live because we like talking about stuff that we want to let other people in on. What was fun? Where we were off on, I don't know if you guys want to go into that or not. We're talking about Karens. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? 'Cause that was kind of cool to reveal that information about Karens in particular. I don't know if y'all know what a Karen is, and so it's like a word people use, and I actually makes me. I know a few people who are named Karen. And I just, oh, poor soul.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. Yeah, like,
what would you
it,
describe Karen, Stacey, as a Karen?
or like the conversation we were just having. I think, like you said, they're more like standing people. They're not who we think Karens to be. And it is unfortunate if your name is Karen, because just because your name is Karen, it doesn't. I had a Karen haircut. My as soon as I cut my hair, my kids are like, "Oh no, mom, that's a Karen cut. That's a Karen cut. You're a Karen now." It's like, oh no, I don't really know how to describe a Karen. Just yeah, I think we sort of burnt that one out.
We call them. We used to have them way back before, when I was in fashion shoots. So in our crew, um, I call my assistants and go. We would call them pedestrians.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So pedestrians, you can then relate it because then the Matrix film came out and you see them with the red girl scene
Mm.
and they're pedestrians. So they just fill up the space. And basically, I got a lot of queries on the pedestrian ones, or they call them NPCs as well, is do they have souls?
Mm.
And I believe they do. And it's just when their soul is, here's the ping, you know, the alarm, wake
Right.
up. Yeah, that's all. And so they're there. So that's kind of exciting as well because you think of that scene in Matrix. Imagine all of them getting pinged for the right reasons, of course, for the high, highest good of all. And this is
Right.
where I think, um, which ping are they getting pinged for now? That's what we were also talking about, is who's getting, what callings are you having now? Like, are they callings making you smile and making you look happier, making you look younger, and making people bring 1,000 dishes to your door and saying welcome to the neighborhood? Is this what you're get? Is this what you're getting? Because if you're getting this, you're on the right path.
Yeah.
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 It's
And
true.
it's tricky, right? It's hard though because we've been going a bit through. Do we keep doing this, or and the impatience of it? You go through these waves of this impatience. Come on, I want to play with all of you guys, but they got to get ready for
You know
whatever they
what?
got to get ready for, and maybe I have to get ready for whatever I got to get. So we're just waiting for everyone
Yeah.
to get ready.
Everybody's going into their own camps kind of right now.
Camps, yeah.
It's true. It's true. But you know what it does as well? I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's like another form of segregation, because like I was saying before, like if you have like something really mediocre, like if your bin is on your driveway, and or someone else's bin is on your driveway, you'd think, oh, let me go and be helpful and put it back on the person's driveway who it belongs to. But then you could be noted to be a Karen because you've moved someone else's bin. Or but if you go and knock the door of the neighbor and say, oh, your bin's on my driveway, literally your driveway, so you cannot get in and out with your vehicle. You could then be noted to be a Karen then. So it's been used as a way where you can't say what you would like to be able to say without it being as in an opposition. So it's another way of sort of putting you in a blockade. So what do? And like you said, Elsa, you do what you think would make you happy. So if you think, oh, in the best of interests, I'm going to move someone else's bin because it's their bin and I'll put it nicely in front of their house and I'll smile if they see me doing it. But then you think, are they recording me? Because now I've got a big grin on my face because I'm putting their bin aside. So if you're doing things in the right manner, in the right fashion, and it's bringing joy, then it's all good. But yeah, try not to get boxed in by these terms. I just found it pretty funny that the name, and again, unfortunate for those called Karen because it means nothing to do with your name at all. Karen's a beautiful name.
Right.
You can just find another term. Pedestrian.
And for those, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
And so for those of you who have never heard of someone saying someone being a Karen, how I understand the definition of that is a Karen is somebody who just like Stacey kind of described, only on steroids. So like you'll see like the videos of a person being upset and getting the manager and throwing hamburgers at people and stuff like that. But what's really interesting about it is when we felt into this, discovering that many of these energies, these individuals, are actually these NPCs, the red dress lady, these non-player characters, filler people, backdrop people. Dolores Cannon talks about them too. That's actually one of the reasons why I started to listen when Dolores Cannon was brought in. I'm like, she knows about them too. And there's that you fill a space with people. And I really am happy we're talking about this because I want to tell you guys a quick story. It's really cool. So Maddie, my daughter, she's 9. We have this day we celebrate on the 24th of May. We call it Freedom Day. And it's a pretty big deal for us. And this was the 6th anniversary of us celebrating it. And this particular one, she was 9 years and 9 months old on that day too. And she has never been to the cinema and wanted to go to this particular one called If. It was about imaginary friends, IF, imaginary friend. And it talked about manifestation and teaching how to use this and how to regroup your inner child and all of this really cool stuff. I won't go any further because I don't want to ruin it. But
Thank you. No spoiler alerts.
Yeah,
I
that was
really
just a
can't wait to see it.
synopsis, a real brief. That you'll see that in a preview. So it was really a good movie. But what was really fascinating though is Maddie had never been to the cinema because large crowds, big noise, that she had to sit still for a whole movie. This movie runtime was an hour and 44 minutes, by the way, 144. We went to Fayetteville to the City of Lights in the Ozarks to watch this movie. It was the 3rd attempt to watch it when it actually worked. All of these things. And this is what was really my favorite part was I manifested over and over. It was opening week. Like this is like and it was playing in 3 different theaters. It was that popular. And I manifested, Maddie and I both, we didn't want a full theater. And she said maybe a couple of families. She kept saying maybe a couple of families when we were talking about the manifestation. Guess what? There were 3 families there. That was it. This whole theater, like the parking lot was packed. The fact that it just worked out this way was something that at the moment I was like, wow, it's cool that we manifest. And then I realized we didn't fill up the room with filler people like we usually do with stores and traffic and stuff like that. A lot of the people that we have that are filling the space are non-player characters. They're really not like they're real, but they're different. Like the consciousness of them is evolving to a something like this is what they feel like. This is how I can tell if it's them for sure is they have a longing. They remind me of that kid that didn't never get invited into any friend groups in school. The kid that just wants to be in the same experience we're in. And when we acknowledge and interact with them, by the way, they do get that upgrade in their next lifetime to be in a life like ours. That's what I got. So it's really fascinating and it's fun to kind of get an understanding of we're not as populated on this planet as we thought.
Mhm.
Well, what's interesting is the name Karen, and Karen is the Magi wren. So the Magi wren is the migratory bird. It's a fast little bird, but wren is also the kidneys and the spleen. So there's great power in this name as well. So maybe that is because you see them in the Matrix film, and it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
The Karens that are have ascended to know who they are, and they're doing great things. They will be great leaders.
Mhm.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I know a few Karens, and they have become great leaders because it's like they've touched down there, and so once they have an understanding, then they can easily maneuver through it. Whereas I'm still like with Stacey going, do I put the bin out or do I put the bin over there? Because we had bin day yesterday. So. And if the bin gets dragged down the road, do I go and pick up their bin, or does it look like I'm stealing their bin? And you go through all this stuff and
Just for the bin.
for the bin, right?
Just
But
for
the
the
word even the bin is being in. It's also dealing with your own rubbish. Like it's such a metaphor. Like the whole thing is a metaphor. And bin day is Odin's day. So it's like the father, the being in. So being in and understanding, we're getting rid of our rubbish altogether. We're all getting rid of our rubbish altogether. What does not serve us, we're getting rid of. And look, we can do it all on the same day.
It's true.
Like
My bin day is
it's
the
kind
same
of
day
cute,
as
right?
yours. Yeah, it's awesome.
But it's a
It's
community coming, like, I know this sounds really odd, but it is. It's the community comes together. They all have to put the bins out to get ready for the bin man, who comes along and takes your rubbish away for you. And so you come out, and it's actually an opportunity to say hello.
Mhm.
Hi, hi, or do the Thursday it's bin night face where you go. But it is, and this is coming back to it brings the community together. But the way we've behaving with social media the last decades is to turn all this off, to
Right.
stop to stop saying, "Oh, it's bin night again." Like how we all always go on and laugh, "It's bin night," but many are putting their bin out and they don't want to make eye contact because of the whole lockdown thing, and it's
Right.
it's the whole thing's crazy.
Yeah.
The whole
You
thing
don't actually
really,
get to see who puts their bins out in my area.
yeah, it's
It's
top
really
secret.
funny. It really is.
Top
It's like
secret.
ding, 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 ding. All of a
Stealthy.
sudden, everyone's got
Got to
their bins
put
out, and
black
I'm like,
makeup on and
you
it would
don't
be
hear anyone
more.
dragging their bins. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it would be more entertaining now to actually make fun of it and do like a commando rollout and,
And then
and do
hide behind a tree and quiet.
dodge and do like a spotlight when the neighbor comes out.
Oh, that's next
Oh,
bin night.
yeah.
Get that
You
And I
set.
see,
don't have this experience at all. We have a big giant bin that we don't touch. You just throw your stuff in there all week long, and they just come with a big machine thing. You go "Arr," and pick it up and dump it in. So,
yeah.
So no tweaking
Well,
of the
the
curtains.
well, what was funny is at our last farm, the bin was the one where I got the message of it's now. It go on social media,
really,
and
do
on the
tell.
bin Yeah,
No
on the
way.
so on the bin, yeah, I know, right? In the middle of nowhere. I've got pictures of it. I know you'll remember when I've sent it to you. It was a big green bin like Mela's one, and on the bin it had 444
No way,
bean
man.
in white text on it. In it, not graffiti. It was like more like running writing sort of thing. And even the kids said, "Who writes that on stuff?" And that was when we started Spin Beings. We had started Spin Beings, and this came out, and then the whole message of Two Sons Return started, and I met Mary Rodwell. This is how it started, from a bin, a green bin at um, crossroads of north, south, east, west, like right in the centre. I always remember it. And so this is how Elsa life goes. You have the bin, and then from that message, for the next 2 or 3 days, all we got was 444, 444, 444. People would ring us, 444. The message would go for 444. It was like, all right, okay, I appreciate the bin message. Thank you.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying. We're on par. So, but so it's so funny. We're talking about rubbish.
The bin
I
has
know.
got so much code. Who knew?
And then all of our viewers right now, people could be like, "What are you watching? Rubbish."
They're just talking about rubbish. We're chatting rubbish. I will never look at midnight the same way again, Elsa. I really won't.
Oh, I know. Well,
That's crazy.
well, Jet, and Gigi used to take the bin because it was like a 2 kilometre drive to the bin. So they used to have to go on the quad bike, and Jet put all these new boating lights on the quad bike to test them out with Gigi, and then they had a craft follow them on the quad bike, and Jet came in, and Gigi loved it. You know, Gigi's fully into it, but Jet was not. Jet was white. He was white because I'm not doing midnight anymore. Have you seen what happens out there? It's crazy.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's, but again, finding the fun in the small brings the big,
Right.
right? Yeah, it's before us all the time.
Big joy.
Yeah, and the more I speak with such, fun people like you guys, I realize that how much more happens from speaking with you, because I see things that I had seen through my day that I might have missed and didn't give enough attention to, and then you just said it.
Yeah.
And I go, there it is. I missed it.
True.
So I go back and I go, oh my gosh. And, I'll go back and reflect or give it attention. Then I'll come possibly back to Mela or Stacey and say something. And then they'll say something. They mirror it back again, even more amplified. And I go, this is a thing. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
This is a thing.
Thing. So we've gone from rubbish to thing. We're upgrading.
It's all code.
It
Go
is
ahead.
all code. It's so cool. It is. And the fact that we just trigger each other just from the things that do seem like the smallest things, but they're not. They're so amplified. Like, I could start you off now, Elsa, and say the ant. You know, when we talk about the ant and just amplify something as small as the ant. You know, how much greatness is there in an ant?
Yeah.
So from these things, there's huge code. And I always love our conversations, because I know for about a week, I will just be bogged down with code after code. There's going to be more. It will just be, just inundated.
Well, code,
Yeah.
the word code came through Pamela, and I think it was from our first show together live. And you spoke about the salmon.
Yeah.
And the salmon swimming up. And salmon is cod. Cod is code. So cod is Jesus' sign as well, which is then a code. Cod is DNA. and it's the swirl of the fish like this, which then becomes your spinal cord.
Right.
And there's one end open on the Jesus fish usually. There's always like and it's because it's you, the creator. You're the creator. You're creating the next. So you create a bend, and then it crosses. Then you create another bend, and it crosses. And these crosses are the alignment. So this is Chronos. This is the real time, or whatever that is. And so it's just it's the crosses are the pings.
Yeah.
So it's going cross, cross, cross. And when it's doing this, sometimes it crosses over. It squishes all the stuff out that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
And so this is why a lot of these feelings that we're all having is up and down just off the spinal cord, because it's going. It's the two streams. It's the serpents. It's the entwined ones. It's the two versions of us. It's creation.
everything.
It's true creation. And now so we've gone rubbish, bin, salmon, cod.
Creation.
And then someone in the audience said salmon semen because the seed, it is the seed. The seed is the Vesca Pisces. It's the most sacred shape of all. Sacred geometry. It's the one shape that can make all other shapes. There's not another shape that you can take only that one and make every other shape with just that shape, except for this. This is what you plant in the ground. This is what you're planting seeds as you have conversation. This is all code. I was just talking to somebody else, or just a little bit earlier, and they were saying something. It came up that there's patterns and code in all things, and it's whether or not you choose to see it. There was an earlier time, I remember people very specifically saying, just because you see a pattern doesn't mean it's there. And it's like, well, that makes no sense. If you see it's there, obviously. And it was a judgment of insanity in some way, or instability that I would see a pattern. These patterns are there for us to find. They're there for you to pick up or to not. And if we choose not to, that's all good. It's all good. You can do that. There are people who are not done with the type of frequency that we've just left. And it's that them being there is wrong. It's correct for them. I just don't drive there anymore. Like I'll dip sometimes because I do have that heart of a true service, just like the two of you and probably everybody here. We all want to help each other. And when we see the possibility, we want to reach out, but we also find that we have to dip to do that. And sometimes it's not the best choice to dip, our frequency down. There was a message that came through all the time for a while, is that do not go there, go to them, for you too shall be lost. And that doesn't mean that this is a forever thing. It's this individual needs to learn how to climb up on the surfboard, and it's rather than, pulling them onto yours, because it's just going to fall over. We're all riding this wave right now. We can feel it, and it's fun. Now we're at this point, like Stacey and I were saying earlier, where we're actually just enjoying ourselves on the surfboard, and we're digging and falling in too. We're learning how to do cool tricks on our way into the water, where some other individuals may be feeling desperate and scared. That doesn't mean that that's going to help them in any way to learn how to surf by pulling them onto your board and everybody going. So,
and everyone's got their own board. Everyone's got their own board, and they're all like really cool, awesome boards. You just have to get on it. Yeah, it's scary.
We got
amount of times we slip off. Sorry.
Yeah, and this is one of the biggest things with a lifeguard is, it's great to go and rescue someone, but one of the biggest lessons of it is to not get drowned by the drowner. Yeah, and I think it's Sweden. Not Sweden. Where is it?
They knock them out before they help them.
Yeah, or they break. No, usually they break their little finger.
What?
Yeah, in the water because they'll kill them. And I always say to the kids when they're surfing, don't go and rescue them. You have to do it in a methodical way. if like they're in a rip getting sucked out to the ocean, go with them or encourage them to float, but don't get caught with them because they will literally drown you first. You'll drown first. Most people, when you see in Australia when they're saving people, they drown first because
Wow.
yeah, because they're in such a panic state and the adrenaline is so high in them, and then you come in and help them, and they're already elevated into this frenzy, and yeah, so it's a in Australia on the beaches, it's a big thing that we always, especially the tourists that come through, they're the ones that they just get into this mess,
Yeah.
and so you
They'll
know,
try to
so
climb
you
the top
think
of your head.
that's mean, breaking their finger, right? But if that's yeah, so we got the message through the Shiva tree. And the Shiva tree kept having these red leaves that spin down, and it said, "Let leave the beings, the falling leaves, the falling let the falling leaves spin. Leave them, just let them spin. Let them spin their path. Let them do it their way, because how do you know the cosmos plan for?" Because that might be necessary for something else, another alignment, and this alignment. So there's a greatness going on here. There's no right or wrong. And like you said, it's that shape is the Pisces, but it's also the shape of yin and yang, the circle with the tail. It's a comet. It's the shape of a comet.
Right.
And guess what? Everyone says, so when's this going to begin? And the word begin is to be jinn. And to be jinn is to be argon. Aragon, argon, dragon, year of the dragon. Argon is one of the noble gases. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Noble gases, and it's the least reactive. They call it the lazy gas. It's the least reactive. So this is what is now being asked of all of us, is to be least reactive, allow space for others so they can begin, so they can be jinn, so they can be this true spirit of themselves. So this is, but it's tough, right? So that's why you have to do things to make yourself smile. So if you have to dress up on bin night, please send photos.
Dude, I'm all about doing the commando crawl now.
Please send photos.
In this country, it's Walmart. People dress up really that you pick the most random outfit possible and go shopping at a store called Walmart. That's it. There's a whole website devoted to the people of Walmart. It's a thing. And it's to be weird on purpose. Like you can tell there's effort done behind this. It's really fun. You know, there's been times where I've actually I went with a woolly hat, like this, it looked like I was an Eskimo, and like Dr. Seuss pajama bottoms and a tank top. And like that's how people dress to go to Walmart because not everybody. There's the people of Walmart, and those of us who do have done that before. I haven't done it since have been a mom, to be truthful, but this was something I did in an earlier phase of my life. Doing these things is like you're just letting yourself the things that we make put importance on stops being important, and we realize that they weren't important now at all. You know, how many of us are now still unpacking, unconditioning years and years of training ourselves to look like we fit into a group of people that we don't fit into. No one fits into any group. That's the greatest lie of them all. And so we have a period of having a tantrum in adult size form where we're making it possible for all things to fall out, and basically we're falling apart so we can then put ourselves back together again in a more aligned way. You know, and sometimes it takes that shock thing, you know, and it's just really fun to be able to like you have that available for you at least once a week, no matter where you live on the planet. You can
Yeah.
act a fool.
Well, I wish I knew about that now. Now you tell me. I could have brought one of my best outfits for Walmart. That would have
Well,
been
it's funny
fun.
you guys have Walmart. We have Kmart. Do you have Kmart as well, or?
Oh, Kmart's almost gone here in this country. There was a garden center in there's Kmart and then there's like the garden center where in the for the store where they would have like the stuff for the garden. That's the only store left is they moved into the garden center and sold the rest to like some other big
Oh,
Somewhere else.
company. Walmart went bankrupt in this country a few years ago.
ah. It's
Oh,
just interesting because they've both got Mart at the end.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
brought it here, sort of.
Yeah.
We have a main chain as Asda, but now it's companied with Walmart. You remember when I said I came and I was like, it's just like Asda. I've been all these years, Elsa. I was like, I gotta go to
Ah.
Walmart. I gotta go to Walmart. And I
Ah.
ended up going, it was just like Asda. I was like, oh, it's the same. It's just dollars instead. But no, yeah, our Asda is now a part of the Walmart chain. So,
Wow.
like you're saying, Elsa, the whole what's with the mart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Richard said something really amazing yesterday. He said, did you know that every continent starts with A and ends with A? And I was like, what? And he went, yeah, everything's AA. And I went, no, that means everything's 1 1.
Yeah.
That's matrix code.
Yeah.
So Asia, Australia, AA. I was like, how is this possible? Where he I don't know where he got it from. He's only just said it yesterday. It just must have come up in his, social medias or something. But I was like, wow, that's a real thing. Because Antarctica,
Right.
like, I don't know how it works for Europe, but wow, I was like, whoa, that's what I mean. It's all before us. So all these symbols, all these messages are always before you, whether it's a cloud, whether it's lights, whether it's media, whether it's a leaf, whether it's a neighbor. All these messages are before us. And all the other stuff is just so exhausting. It's not even, you can't even give it your attention. It's irritating. You can't give, but yet here we are with you two having a very serious conversation about rubbish. but because it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be in the country. You don't have to be in the city. There's no one place. You can find this in where you are because those messages are before you for your reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're bringing the play, the fun, the high vibration back into everything.
Yeah.
You can't remote view this. You can't give this part of the school system. It ain't gonna work. It's not
Right.
part of government. It doesn't work for the medical system. It doesn't even work for Walmart. Walmart's going, why is everyone so weird when they come in? They're probably, their PR people are going, we're going to have to change our commercials, because everyone's showing up in a different form now and there's no formula to the form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this creates chaos. Now, everyone thought chaos was going to be bloodshed.
Right.
Why can't chaos be silly and fun?
Right.
And this is what I'm starting to find more and more and more and more entertaining is that everyone thought chaos was going to be all that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. It's not like that at all. It's chaos to me in our world, in our family. We have had some like full-on accidents and stuff, car accidents in the family just recently, and they weren't funny at all, but we found messages and great wisdom in those moments. We found alignments with neighbours, with the rescue people. Like major things have happened from those moments.
Right.
And so then it went from being chaos and that whole idea of bloodshed to being a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why this show, even though it is about rubbish, it's important
Mm-hmm.
because it's about how do we reuse ourselves in a better way.
Reuse, recycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a load of rubbish.
And I just learned, this is like, oh, sorry, this is one of my big ones. I just learned that even the recycling and the rubbish that I still do it because in my head, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's going to the same place. It's going to the same place.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the action of what you're doing, right? For me, I still feel that I'm doing a good service by suggesting that I believe that my rubbish and my recycling are going to go to the correct places. However, this is the best thing about it, that people are now going to where the rubbish is. And like you said, it's being recycled, it's being reused. So regardless if it's all going to the same place, people are finding the beauty or the magic or the chaos. Because when you mention chaos, I think of chaos magic. And I used to think chaos magic was, like you said, chaotic, crazy, you know, it's like,
yeah,
all over the place stuff. But with chaos, it's not, it's like a little bit of everything. It's a bit of this, it's a bit of that, it's eclectic, it's all of one. So with the chaos, it's not what you would think when they say chaos, like you said, bloodshed and fear and all these things. It's not. Chaos can actually be something really amazing and magical because it's a bit of everything.
It's a room full of toddlers.
Yeah, or puppies. It truly is.
Yeah.
So it's learning to mix it all together and find, you know, there's so much stuff that people are making and reusing out of. There's so much rubbish talking today. I can't believe we just come, but it's just really been mind blowing for me because it's awesome what people are actually finding within what we would class as rubbish, you know. But then if you went to a rubbish dump, you would think this is chaos, you know, this is, but you send someone there with an open mind and they see treasure, you know, I can make this out of this, and they come away and they've made something awesome. People are doing some really awesome things with our throwaways, you know. They are really bringing new things into the world by what we are getting rid of. And it's so awesome to know this because, you know, this whole throwaway culture, everything's throwaway. If you throw it away, people are gathering it and they're going to make something beautiful with it anyway. So the whole chaos it can be awesome. So yeah, the chaos thing is how you look at it, right? It's everything. It's how do you perceive it? Which direction are you going to look at it from? You know, if you want to go down that route and look at it from that angle, then what are you going to bring to yourself? You know, you're going to just receive what you're putting your energy into. So if you believe that you can find beauty in your rubbish, you really will. You know, that old you know, the toilet roll holder that you used to have your tissue on, or an old cardboard box or something that you would necessarily throw away, you could actually reclaim it, reuse it, and
burn it.
I just set fire to it. Or that, dude, how much beauty comes from a fire? Whoa. You know, the alchemical process of these things. And what fire is that? Not a bit of chaos? You know, which way is that flame gonna go? You cannot predict. You know, you might have your nice orderly little fire pit, but hello. You know, try throwing different things on it. You're gonna have a bit of chaos somewhere down the line.
Right. I love the comment. I'm gonna read it real quick just because it goes with this exact own your shit. I love your name. Definitely toddlers or kids in a playground building a den out of cardboard boxes. I was like, wow, I like all of those, the code all put together, and that's what we're doing. And like, I find this really fascinating because I forgot that I did this job. There was one of my first jobs was I was the lead toddler teacher at a daycare. And like that was my job. And they just kept giving me more kids. Like they kept putting more kids. And some of them had chocolate on their face. You knew that they were like gonna be a troublemaker. You know what I mean? Like because they were full of sugar. And like but it was some type of a dance, you know, from all walks of life. There's a toddler fits a criteria of a couple of years, so you're like different abilities. Some of them are potty training because their parents want them to potty train. Some of them aren't. There's this whole thing, but once you allow yourself to just kind of observe and be in the energy of the moment, you get to see how it is a dance of
Mhm.
joy, and it's not a problem to solve. It's all beautiful. And that's what's happening right now. I love all of these segues we've made, and there's one thing I wanted to add to one more because of my experience. We've been talking about collecting more stuff, and I'm finding the need to really relinquish myself of and not continue to hold on to items because I was that person. I'm so crafty. Like I really am. When I had a lot more time that I wanted to put into my free time is now blankly staring at a wall, drooling like I'm a psych patient with meds because the downloads that are coming in are just tired. I'm just so tired all the time, and so, right now, and collecting those things, they never get made into anything right now. And so for me, collecting more than I need is false anchoring. And so
Mhm.
it's something that's so I released so much of my belongings before we moved. And then now we just relocated and we're just settled now into our own place. I'm already finding myself having to decline items. I'm like, no, but you have extra space in there. Don't you want to fill that? No. No, it's good. We don't have to have everything full,
Mhm.
um and so just keeping that in mind for anyone who's noticing this, that it's okay to say goodbye to these things and to throw them in the bin. Before I moved from Washington, I actually threw my dirty dishes in the bin and I heard them crash and it was so cool. Instead of doing them. But my point in this is that everybody's in a different part of this particular journey. And I just love that you brought that up so you were able to highlight that because this is a report from a lot of people too. There are a lot of people are just all of a sudden, I just don't want my stuff. I just want to one person said, I just want to set my house on fire, and just be done with it, and you don't need to find somebody to give the item to. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
okay just to let it go. But
Well, that's this is all feng shui now. This is great. So, our family, because my theory is, have you used it in the last 6 months?
Mhm.
Are you going to use it? Is it a seasonal thing? And the kids go, oh, don't answer that. Don't answer that. You know what she's going to do? Because I'm always, because I believe in bringing in the new. So I'm always saying, does this serve you? Do you need this? Why is it here? Because if it collects dust and mold, this is not going to serve us anymore.
Mhm.
Does this have, who was this gifted to you by? Does this have a reoccurring memory attached to it? So you reuse it, whether you burn it, whether you give it to someone, whether you put it in the rubbish, it's whatever you feel to do is fine.
right.
Mhm.
Whether you turn it into a dog bed or like who knows, like being creative with this as well. Like Stacey was saying, but so you shift. So even if you walked into each room and just scan the whole room, you go around each room. Like this is what we do with our family. Is I say, okay, you can do it or I can do it. They all know how ruthless I am. And Richard always says, you just got rid of that thing and then I needed it the next day. This is that's our to and fro thing. But yeah, it's and I said to okay, so where we used to live, our neighbour they put out a post that she went missing, and she's a bit older than Richard. She's 67, and she just went missing. They can't find her. And there was a police report. That's how we found out. And the kids are like, do you know she's missing? She's missing. She's missing. And no one could find her. And her husband was very distressed. And these are lovely people that we used to live next to. Anyway, I felt a real calling. And I was like, how am I attached to this? Anyway, so I'm out cleaning out the shed, doing the feng shuiing. And I said, this is from that house. This is the only thing I can really see from this house. I think it's time for it to go. And I could see Richard roll his eyes. He was just like, because it's the old air conditioner. And he was like, oh, it's so heavy, it's all rusty. And I said,
Oh, right.
we don't need to carry this round. Why are we carrying this round? It's heavy, it takes up a lot of room, it's rusty. I said, let's get rid of it today. I said, this might help her come back. And he says, help who? And he goes, oh, I kid you not, put it in the bus, which was a lot of swear words, by the way, not on my end, because he got mud all over him and he's swearing and the dog's in his way and like it's always a palaver. Anyway, he gets it all in the bus, comes inside and says, they found her.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Richard goes, oh, no, this is just, everyone in the family's like, they Mr. Smith it a bit. I go, you can Mr. Smith it all you want. I don't care. I said it. This happened. There she was.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I have no fear, no doubt on this. That's what it is. And it's this. So when you're going through the rubbish, just say, well, not rubbish, but you're going through a room and you're sorting through things. Do I keep? Do I? And you pick it up and you feel an energy or a memory, go back to that spot. That might be a tool, like Mela was saying, an anchor, memory point for you to clear up
Mm-hmm.
and let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might go, oh, I might keep that now. You might change your mind and decide to keep it, or you might say, okay, so this is begin. This is being jinn. This is being spirit again. They don't teach this one in schools. Why?
Right.
Because it's obviously has great. And so to be chaos is to be the magic us, us.
Oh, I
And
like
so
that.
I like being chaos, and I'm happy to begin being chaos. And what a load of rubbish. We'll be
like
saying this all day long.
I know, I love that. And
Yeah.
also I found, like you have that drawer, that one drawer that's just compiled of maybe old
They call it the
keys.
junk drawer.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
have those drawers. And I've found, and it's been a practice, that when things feel cluttered and it's here, that's the only way I can describe it, somehow I will find myself at that drawer. And once that drawer has been decluttered or reorganized, the wires that are in there, you need the wires, but for some reason they're all like this. So once those wires are reformed and the keys that 5 years ago, it's not going to open anything. Do you need that key? No. Things that are not necessary anymore, once, and I find myself going back to the drawer like, whoa, whoa, it's been cleared. And it unlocks it unlocks something new. Once that energy has been shifted, it's like I said, it's a practice that I've been doing for a few years, but it's not something I will plan to do. I will go in that drawer looking for something and everything will clamber out the drawer. Push it back down, push the drawer shut. But those times when it gets to the point where I'm like, it's here, it's fuzzy, it's like static, that whole distortion.
Yeah.
Once the drawer is clear, and I find myself just doing it, it's something that I will just do automatically. And then I sit and I can feel it. I feel the energy move. The energy is lifted, it's clear, and it feels like the draw. And that's the only connection that I can make. It's between the static and the draw, and the static is gone. And then something will happen. Obviously, you're not aware. It could be tiny, it could be bigger, could be the knock on the door, someone you haven't seen for ages, or something will happen. Without a doubt, I'm getting close to the drawer. It's getting close to the drawer being cleaned up. There's actually probably two that I have that I get into that point, but I know, and it's like the whole, oh, I know I have to do it. I know it's getting to that stage, but it's giving me little ditties at the minute, so I'm going with it. So I will let you know. I will update you on what comes from the static.
Thank you. I mean, that's really cool, though. That's really what you said. And another way to say it, this is, I can see how our energy touches the stuff around us. It does. Really, our energy is a very big orb of energy, and our souls feel it. Our soul can feel it. And that's why when you're in a bigger, more expansive space, we feel typically, not always, sometimes there's some type of trauma that needs to be healed having to do with not feeling safe or comforted. And that will sometimes the individual bring more items into themselves so they feel like they're in the womb, I think is why they do that. Though for the most part, when there's too much stuff that our energy can touch, it's overwhelming on us. And we're coded to find those, to go to the problem and to solve that problem, to fix it, to resolve this issue. Before I forget, this is just a little cute, DIY kind of thing. It's not even DIY. I don't know why I use those words, but I learned to do for me is that at the beginning of the season, because you got the winter clothes and the summer clothes, I hang all of my hangers backwards. So instead of having the hook go in where it's easy to bring it, I do them backwards. And then each time that I take something off the hanger and use it, then that hanger can go forward. I know I've used that. And then at the end of the season, when you're putting your stuff away for the end of the year, you'll see all the ones that have the hook the other way, you didn't wear that all season. You're probably not going to wear that again. Your chances are a third of your closet or more is going to be hangers that are facing into the donate pile. So it's kind of good to little thing to know about that. I have a question that's been typed here for Elsa. Do you guys mind?
Can I say it
Okay,
first? One thing. I just want to say
please.
two things because you said so. The drawer is clear.
Oh,
You
whoa.
hear those words, right?
Yeah.
The drawer is clear. So you are you're drawing in the cosmos when you do this. The drawer is clear.
Wow.
So, and Mela says, you turned the hook around. Are you kidding me? The hook is a huge symbol. It's Nefsek, her sword. It's Alexander the Great cutting the sword. As soon as you turn the hooks around, this is you could class the yin and the yang as hooks. The sperm is a hook. When you're turning yourself around, you're letting go of self. So you burden yourself. You wear what you wear. We are what you are here. So we are is memory are. So you keep putting on that same outfit or choose not to. You choose not to be that self anymore. It's see how these, so you go, well, I haven't gone to yoga and I haven't done any meditation and I haven't done this and I haven't done my singing bowls and I haven't done any crystals. You're doing it. Just do it in your day. Go clean the drawer. The drawer is calling me. Go clean the drawer. Take out the rubbish. Can you see? Turn the hook around. So now you're going to hear these echoing voices. You're going to be, go away, Elsa, go away.
But now I feel to ask you about the toilet seat. What does that one mean? What about if you have a
Oh, you weren't
sliding
here for that part
toilet
of the
seat?
conversation. Elsa doesn't know what we're talking about.
I'm the, well, I had this one this week. It's the royal. Yeah, now we're going to shit.
We were talking about this before you even got on.
Well, I woke up.
Slider.
I woke up to the wall of stench this morning from the puppies. And I said to Richard, I said, didn't you clean up a little bit before I got out here? And he was like, I did. This is just puppy stench. So this is now we're talking about shit. This is all about reusing. So
Right.
the toilet is the throne, royal flush. So it's getting rid of ancient alien DNA.
Right.
One of the biggest things you'll hear in the old stonework and pyramids and everything is their sewer system and how they use the water. Yeah. In many cultures, the way they use their sewerage is they ruin code because they treat it. Code should be going back to earth, so they delay. So I believe this is my belief system. Okay, so it's pretty shitty. They take our code, our memory, which is in the water, which is we let go, we let it go, and on the throne. Then we have the royal flush, so we're flushing the gods out. These gods and codes then go to a holding treatment, and they don't get let back to the sea until they've been treated because it's environmental. Yeah. I look, environmentalists, I hear that, but if you're not releasing it back to earth, why is in a holding tank? Why do we have the dams? Why do we have these water towers and stuff? Because they're holding the code. Because why? Because they're the Akashic records. The memory is in the water. It's in the codes. So we had our sewer line break at our old farm. And so instead of it going into our holding tank on the farm, and then it goes out into our paddocks here, it had a leak. So it stunk. But let me tell you, we had rows and rows of tomato plants. This is Babylon. People go, what? I go, this is Babylon. These are the lands of the fruit and the seeds. They just grow anywhere. It's just we've been keeping them all in a holding tank. So when we talk of a great abundance and fruit and where you can just walk down the road and grab an apple and one day we'll work out a better way of doing this, which obviously is a little bit more discreet as well. So, but there'll be a better way. We'll come back to this Garden of Eden because we'll be allowing the shit.
It won't be so corny.
It's so... oh my gosh, I can't tell the kids what we're talking about. They're just they seriously will put me
And then we
on.
have own your shit over here is making the most comments.
Well, we were talking about recycling, right? So
yeah, but to reuse is to respin. It's just, this is all it is. It's to return. And we get more new come to us because of we always become more, but we also reuse what's here. So this message of the earth is running out of stuff all the time, you hear this. How? Where's it gonna go? It doesn't run out of water. It just is somewhere else. It's been misplaced, mistreated, misused, misaligned. There's no water shortage. There's no food shortage. It's just our belief systems have been taught this from the schooling. Now, I would rather be the cod, the salmon, in memory of going upstream.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm going upstream. It's really hard going
Mhm.
upstream. Can I jump on your back? Because you look like you got it sorted. Like I want to be that. But Richard showed me a picture of a salmon, and they've got a dam, and then they've got a square tunnel where the water. This salmon is jumping into the tunnel to go upstream. How does it know how to do that? Huh? That's a that's a serious calling for that cod, right? Or
Mhm.
that salmon. That's
Mhm.
us. That's us.
Yeah, definitely.
They're free schooled. Schooled fish are very weird. I would not suggest. We have stopped eating any salmon unless we know where it's from.
Right.
Most salmon is schooled. If you ever go to where they have schooled fish, the farming, it's not pretty. It really isn't. And a lot of the time, they'll get holes in them from the sharks and things. And these fish go out in the ocean, and they they're so easy to catch,
Yeah.
and they don't you can see they don't understand. It's the same with the chickens that are farmed, and you bring them to your farm, rescue chickens and things. They don't know how to be.
Yeah.
They honestly don't know what sunlight is. They don't know what grass is.
It's really crazy.
It's
I know what you
crazy
mean.
stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Cats too. I watch
so
them put
I'm
cats up on things. They're like, the cat doesn't know what a tree is. That's the new videos you see a
yeah,
lot of right now.
yeah.
There's
Put a
like,
cat in the
Whoa.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but like this is what. So this is the un this is us reusing now. And we're collecting the message, and we're showing others like finding this lady that you can actually make it usable, this stuff, these messages and these oracle messages that you're having come before you. Yes, they give you a smile. Yes, they do this, but also, like Stacey was saying, once you clear the drawer, wow, you'll draw new in.
Mhm.
Once you let go of self, like turn the hook around. Um, and sometimes, like, you're meant to have that hook facing you so that you realize, I've been hanging on to that coat for how long in the
Mhm.
cupboard?
right.
Yeah. So you have a self awareness of, well, maybe I won't do this next year.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll only have the hooks this way. And if I see it that way, I'm going to start questioning that outfit.
And it's a
Yeah.
question mark, right? That hook is
Yeah.
just like a question mark.
Well, that's
Right.
sec, yeah, which is also number 5.
Whoa.
It's the same
Right.
symbol. 5 is the fifth being, it's our compass. It's all the same, it's all code,
It's
it's all
element.
fish.
So shit.
Actually, you know what I pulled up to? 'Cause whale is a fish too. This is the medicine cards that I used that you had brought up something that I forgot that I didn't tell other people about. I told one other there's a memory of the deluge. The Bermuda Triangle was an open portal space that brought in vast amounts of water that wasn't actually here.
Mm.
That's how the deluge occurred, based on this very real, vivid recollection that I have within me and other people, another person at least shares. Um,
Whoa.
and this coated water got mixed in. This was the introduction of salt water. It didn't have salt in the water before. Is the
Whoa.
memory that I have of this. And this is a very ancient past life experience we're talking about. And the code that goes with that is the whale is known as the record keeper, the swimming library of the oceans. The little poem before says, Whale of mighty oceans, you have seen it all. Secrets of the ages are heard within your call. Teach me how to hear your words and how to understand the very roots of history of when our world began. It if you read this all the way, you get to where they talk about the end of the prophecy of the Lakota prophecy of the white cap buffalo woman. And it talks about how this is all of what we've been talking about right today, all went to this. I just find this really, it talks about at the end of the prophecy, then the sun shall weep into the other ocean and Mu shall rise again. Mu is Lemuria. Also, some cultures call it Turtle Island, and Turtle Island is known as America. So I don't know what this is, that particular part of it is. I can tell you that I've been given information for a couple of weeks now, but from Spirit, that we were going to get an awesome solar experience on the 3rd. The 3rd is the day, and so the 4th, if you're in the southern hemisphere, at pre-dawn, at least in the northern hemisphere, pre-dawn, you will see what they call a parade of planets. There are 6 planets that are going to be in alignment, and that's not including Earth. And also Madison, my daughter, told me that there's also, she said, and they're not even talking about Nibiru. She talks about Nibiru as being in our solar system, not to mention 7 other exoplanets. So there's going to be a big row of planets on this moment when Spirit told me also we're going to be getting some pretty awesome solar activity. And then this morning, the sun just started to turn over where we could see the edge as it's turning. And they're like, oh, look at that big sunspot. It's bigger than the last one we had a week ago. And so this is not to be worried and scared. It's just, it's written. It's told. This is now. I know it sounds like a very strange concept to consider, but we are really the heroes in the stories. You all really are. Like that's where we are right now. And I'm not really sure why that went there just then, but but holy cow. It's just so beautiful that we're here. The deluge, when this water came in through the this portal, I find it really fascinating that we moved so close to this portal, this Bermuda Triangle. We were on the other corner of the country before, and now we're like right over here. And this is in order for us to be able to assist in the realignment of this. I do know I went there remote viewing in my teenage years because I remember the Bermuda Triangle as being a portal that got broken. And I went down underneath there, and I've done it since too. The crystals are still there. These big giant megalithic crystals are still in the ocean. They're broken, but they're still intact enough. And so that's just my 15 cents of weirdness. There you go. I've got just random stuff that is true for me. Does anybody have any more they'd like to input with that, by the way?
Just know that I know it's not random. We're going to hear something about that really soon. Now you've just put it out there, dude, for us all to know. Like we're going to know. And I'm sure Elsa, I'm sure she did that a few times.
I know. Well,
She's like,
the map. So Mela and I would. Maddie said some words, and Mela showed me the flood path, and it sent me on mapping where she is. Then it sent me to a greater map, and then it showed me Mela with Bermuda. And it's all the words she's been saying ever since I met her. So many of the words she's been saying. It talked about Loch Ness. Loch Ness is the whale, the first whale. It's and it takes, so after Bermuda, then it took me down to Antarctica as well. And so it taught me about that possibly how we think things have been created might have had a little bit more assistance.
right.
They showed me the valleys have been literally created, and so everyone says, "Oh, that was done by a meteor or crater,"
Right.
and you go, "Yeah." Now think about what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Creator.
If the creator and a meteor is an ET, come ET, and they say, oh, it's the Big Bang, it was all this. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe that's how they created the valleys, the rifts.
Right.
And so by Mila bringing this topic up through little Maddie triggering us as well, the playfulness of it, and she's seeing the signs, Maddie sees the signs, and Maddie doesn't know all those programs that we've seen.
Right.
Maddie just knows Maddie, and Maddie goes, I'm going to say that because I feel safe with Mela. I can speak with Mela. She's my friend. She sings her tune to Mela, and Mela goes, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Yeah, and she plays with it, and she plays with the message. She doesn't judge it. It's just an unconditional message. It's pure love. That's what it is. That's pure love. And so then you take the message as a gift and share it with others. And that's how I see the messages. And then I go, holy cow, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And, then it sends me on my path. And then I go and, so you've got chaos with Maddie, chaos with Mela. And see how it's contagious?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you going to control this? Seriously.
Right. Control isn't
How can you
isn't
control
real.
this? It's so boring. Like, why would you? I mean, if you Mr. Smith, this whole conversation we've had, yeah, you'd feel the whole battery go, you'd see all our smiles go, really? And then we'd run off, then we'd run off to the other room and start the conversation up again because it was so much fun. Yeah.
Come on,
Because,
O'Crow.
yeah. And you can see that draining feeling won't heal. You can't heal there because you're not allowing the new to come in.
Yeah.
This ever since I've spoken of Pamela, this Lakota, and these ways she interprets this book. As soon as I see that book out, I go, oh, this is going to be big. She opens the book. I go, she's turned to a page. Like, you can feel all the dust come up, and you just know it's going to be deep. But because in that book is many Maddies messages written down over, how many years, and they were going, maybe one day they'll hear us. Maybe one day, maybe one day they'll sing this tune. And so then you have someone that comes and sings and they say, look, this was the story then. And they're saying this could be the story now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we share our tales, which is we
All
share
over
our
it.
tails,
That's
our
deep.
spines. We're classed as the tailed ones. I know, then everyone's going to say, oh, you mean reptilians. I'm going, no, well, maybe, yeah, at one version, but this is the tail ones. It's the two tails is the end of the tail and at the top of the tail. I'm not sure if that's the pineal gland or not, but it's the two tail. It's the tail of death. Yeah. So you take it in, you digest it, the royal flush, and so you're sharing it. So when you go to the toilet now, you go, I'm going to have a sharing experience.
I shared the toilet with a mouse yesterday.
I'm going to use that today.
No, you're not taking a shit, you're taking a share.
Taking a shit.
Oh, I love it, man. I love
So
it.
much. Wow.
Hmm.
A mouse came to me when I was on the toilet yesterday, by the way. You said sharing the toilet.
Okay, what did he do?
Yeah,
What did he do? What were you doing? Or
we
can you
both
remember what you
startled
did?
each other.
Huh? Oh,
Yeah,
so you like,
we startled each other. Well, I was sitting on the toilet. Okay, so they came when they were drilling the outside of my wall here because this place has never had internet before, so it takes three different teams at 3 different sessions of each team arriving at different times in the world and the calendar to establish internet here. I've been using hotspot. Anyway, so they started drilling into the wall and it chased a mouse into the house. and through this teeny tiny little portal or hole, that was behind the toilet. I noticed it, plugged it. Fast forward several hours. I'm on the toilet, was getting ready to go to bed, and a mouse came around the corner, and we startled each other, and it ran away. So I realized I had plugged its home. It couldn't get home. So I had to unstuff it. And then I sat on my bed and just watched and waited for it until it came back. And as soon as it went back to its home, I covered it. I put in the plug again, so yeah, but it was trapped in my house. And you said sharing on the toilet, and that seems like
Well, Ganesh's friend is the mouse. Attention to detail. This is what our whole conversation's been about.
Whoa.
Wow. This is, and so you say something big's coming. Ganesh, he's big. He's a big mover. He's a shifter. Like whenever I get Ganesh messages, oh my gosh! We just had because I just had this. I think it was with Bob. I put the newspaper out, and as I put the newspaper down, a blue elephant on it before the puppy shit on it. Yeah, and I said, Jerry, quick, get me my phone. And she goes, oh no, you're not taking pictures of puppy shit. Like, no, it's okay. It's clean. And so I took a picture of this blue elephant. He's staring straight at us. I know.
Whoa.
What's elephant in that book? Do they have elephant in it? Because it's Indian, right? Is there elephant in this book of yours? The book.
The book,
Mela
the dusty book.
oh yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna.
I
Ready?
don't
She's
think
gonna
I have
open.
elephant.
When does it have
I
elephant
think
in it?
it's just
Or is
the
it
northern
bull?
animals.
Or it'll be bull or bison or buffalo or.
Oh, we have buffalo. Buffalo is prayer, but buffalo means prayer here. And then
So
we
prayer
have
is pre-ray. So you're talking about the big. You're talking about this big. This is the mouse is telling you about Ganesh. So the soul, it's big. What date did you say? What day are you feeling?
Monday the 3rd,
Oh,
which
I've
is
got goose
just a couple of
pimples.
days. Yeah.
Wow, this throne stuff. It's royal information. But like it's it didn't cost anything and it's so free and it's so before us and it's so entertaining. It's much nicer than Netflix. You're not getting EMF'd.
Right.
So true.
Yeah. And it makes me smile.
Yeah. And we're quoting everybody. The comments are just,
I'll
you
shut
know,
up for a bit.
look, it's cool that what's just happened was Dr. Joe showed up and said, hello, girlies. And then someone else had posted a comment just about the same moment. Own your shit said Dr. Joe just mentioned elephant and mouse in his live chat earlier.
Whoa.
Like, I don't even know if Own Your Own Shit knew that. I just love saying that name.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so
It's a
that,
thing.
go ahead, Stacey.
No, I was gonna say it's a thing. It's a thing. The mouse. If we didn't start talking about toilets, the whole toilet thing, then you wouldn't have mentioned the fact that you were sitting on the toilet when you saw the mouse. It pinged
Right.
it up. Then the mouse,
Yeah.
then elephant, and Dr.
And then,
Joe's. It's a thing. It's a
yeah.
thing. And then the Monday. So what is
And then
coming
Elsa,
on Monday?
let it go. Let it go.
Dude, I'm gonna be singing
You
to
know,
you.
I like
So
the
the
adult version the best. Seen that.
I
It's
know.
instead of let it go, it's F it all. F it all. But it's like actually saying the right. So we're on YouTube, so just being um there's
The
something else.
The
Go ahead.
elephant picture, I'll send it to you, but I just wanted to say, so the elephant picture in the newspaper was the elephant looking, it's looking straight at us. So you see both ears. So it could, both ears and then the trunk.
The ears to hear.
And the trunk could be clothing, because trunk is the old
Right.
version of it as well, but it's scent. So I'm just want to see where this goes because it was a blue elephant. blue's huge for code.
Yeah.
Blue is the light. Blue is Maddie's prophecy and the Hopi prophecy of the blue light ones, meaning the ones that could see blue. So they
Right.
knew of that's how they time stamped it.
Our porch light is blue. We turned on the porch light, and the light bulb's blue. Like I've never seen that before. Our light bulb's blue. So it's blue
So
light that glows from it.
Yeah, so the port you open a porthole for the mouse through noise because you're here, you're here, yeah. You
Right.
open the porthole, the mouse runs across, attention to detail, goes back in. So detail is two tail. This is fun, right? Two tail. This is how I talk to the kids, and the kids are like, shut up.
They give a spray
So,
bottle.
what's that spray? So detail. So then it goes in, and then the elephant, and now like Dr. Joe. So now we're talking across how many continents? And
Right.
you got the upside down one down there, telling that blue elephant before the puppies poo on it. Wow. All right.
Elsa,
This might
that we
go
talked about
somewhere,
the
I think.
song, Frozen's about holding water memory, and that's correct too. Like the second Frozen, that's all the code about it, like having to break the dam, release the water, release the memory, release the code. It's just then light and thunder just went, that was really cool.
So
There's
yes, so through Mela's map, I did a grid work yesterday because I don't do grid work a lot, but because we just stopped, we just didn't find it. I had to do it, and it was a gizzard and gator, and the reason I got the calling was not yesterday, the day before. I saw gator gar in graffiti, and I went, okay, enough's enough, because I had gizzard on Mela's map. I've had dragon, gizzard, lizard, gators, and I look at the map and there's two looking at me. I go, all right, all right, all right, I'll go with Richard. I'll go with Richard. And I did it yesterday, and sure enough, I kept saying, are we due rain? I kept saying, are we due rain? And sure enough, as soon as we had done it, within an hour or two, we get the lightning and
wow.
the thunder. But I'm just saying, so through Mela's map, Bermuda, the gizzard, the gators, the lizards, the dragon, the year of the dragon, and now we've got Ganesh. So these are big players, right? In the like,
Right.
so you have dragon and Ganesh, like brought through with a little mouse, like
Ganesh, man.
which is small details. So we're saying we're bringing in the big with the small detail. That's why when Pamela says solar flares and stuff, I always go, okay.
Yeah.
So I go and write it all down, and then I get on with my day and stay alert. And then something will happen, and then I send messages to Dr. Joe, to Mela, to Stacey, going, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" And
It
it
just comes
helps
through.
us. It helps us. Look, this stuff everyone can laugh at, but this helped bring our son home. I know it did.
Yeah.
This helped me to meet you guys.
Yeah.
If I didn't see that green bin with 444 on it, never would have met Mela that day.
Wow.
And Dr. Joe just interviewed the other beautiful lady who was there on the same day I met Mela.
Oh, really? I'll have to check it out.
Wow.
I'm yeah, Anne.
Yeah. I
Uh,
love her. I've talked to her
yeah,
since.
yeah. And she's born in the land of Odin.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Of course you are. Of course you are.
All
But
things go back to Iceland. All things do. It's just crazy how it all goes to Iceland.
if you didn't say my grandfather in this playful way, in
Right.
jest, in gin, in begin, so the beginner one, Mila, shares her tune like Maddie, and then I go, oh, Odin, who's Odin? The Odin transformed our whole year,
Yeah.
that year,
He was so
2023.
prominent
Then
that year.
Yeah, right.
It
And
was
then it
huge.
gave purpose to so much. You felt it, Stacey, too, right?
Hmm. It was massive. I remember once
Yeah.
that was triggered, it was just everything came. Odin was everywhere. He was.
It's
Odin.
Thursday
Yeah.
now.
And it's Thursday. Wow. We would do it on Thursday. Wow.
Yeah. So
All of
this
this
is,
stuff. It's
and so when you hear, the Odin's daughters saying words, I have, I don't give any fear or doubt. I just go, what did she say? What did they just say? Did she say that word? Because I know that will hold great importance because Mila's part crossed my path.
Hmm. And just
we
the
all
way that
did.
it
I know you
happened.
feel it.
It's
Yeah.
just the way that it happened. It wasn't planned. We didn't go looking for one another. We didn't like
Yeah.
it just happens. And it's the
Yeah.
trust. It's the
Yeah.
belief that once you the play is the fun element of it. You've got to find fun in this somewhere because it is balanced with some form of seriousness. We do get serious when we talk about certain things because it has great meaning. It really does. And I feel it now in the pit of my stomach. Like I know it has, and then I tell Mila, I'm like, I get that thing. I feel like I'm gonna vomit because it's so deep. It's so embedded in my soul. And it gets really frustrating sometimes because I don't know how to express what this is. But sometimes it doesn't matter. It's in the small details that the larger picture is made together. And like how awesome is it that I get to interact with someone all the way in Australia, all the way in America, that you guys have become like so much as part of my family, just to have my warm up weirdness, not being afraid to talk about my shit, and knowing that this is my truth.
Yeah.
This is my authentic self, knowing that I understand everything that you guys are talking about. Not maybe sometimes not even when you say it doesn't correspond with my human, but that bit in my stomach that I know it's true, that's the bit that it gets filtered and it's just it all just comes right. And whatever it does to help other people, because it can be really rough, you know, them days where it is really rough and we do have it, we can sit here and at the minute we're having a great time. We haven't seen each other for so long, so to be able to talk about certain things and have these giggles and laughs, we shine in these moments. But I know I'll speak for myself where there are days where it does feel really difficult. It is that salmon moment
Feels
because
like
you are,
it.
yeah, you are like getting to that point. I can see that tunnel bit, and it is really, but it's the process. I've heard so much for so long now. It's not the destination, it's the journey, the final destination. Like, what are we trying to get to the end of? Why do we need to be at the end of it? Why do we want it to end? Like, where's the end? Why do we want this end in sight? Is there an end in sight? Is it ever going to stop? Are we? Why? Because it's the bit of getting to the end. Because this is where the magic and the chaos and the whatever it is that we do when we do these things, we get into that point, and that's where the bits of fun can be found, but also the messages that are so important. We're somehow puzzling this stuff together.
Yeah.
Like I'm no means an academic in any of this stuff. I just know that it's my internal weirdness that has brought these two phenomenal women into my life, that has helped me make sense of what is going on with me. And this is why we talk about what we talk about, is because it will help other people to understand that whatever their warm up weirdness is cool. It
Yeah.
is your authentic truth. I stopped saying that for a long time because that word, your authenticity, your authentic self, blah, 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 just by being you, like without all the bells and whistles. There is no perfect. We're all this perfect structure of what, there's no perfect. We're not attaining to be perfect. We're not attaining to be anything but what we are, and whatever this thing is. And I still don't have a word for it. You guys are awesome because you can break stuff down and put it into terms, and you know, you have some
Right.
awesome ways of explaining stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'm feeling it, and it just makes sense. You know, that was my mad ramble, and I'm so glad that Dr. Joe has also picked up on this, because I'd like to see what he's saying about this elephant in the mouth. No doubt he'll say something about our shit talk.
Surprisingly, he hasn't commented since. I was looking for that too. I was like, oh, but yeah, if you're in the audience, Dr. Joe, what is the story about shit? We'll go back.
Oh my gosh. He'll give the X-rated
Grace is,
version, so
yeah, it'll be
I
like the
look forward to
afterthought.
it.
yeah, I'll have to be ready for him.
He will word it
Grace
in
and
such
play.
ways.
I'm sorry.
No, no, it's fine. So it's okay.
Grace and play belong together. That's just those, you know how words and color have colors and colors have meaning. And when you see it written by spirit in your mind's eye, you know what it means because it feels a way. And written in this way, grace and play look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an important code to bring forward because I keep hearing people say, you're so graceful, you're so graceful. And I don't see it, but I see myself as a goofy person who likes to play, and I would say that, not above all things, but it's paramount above most things is to be in a place of play because why not?
Mm-hmm.
The other choice, the alternative, is what I did that. I did that. I spent time there and worry and concern and what ifs and I did all of that. And oh no, what are they thinking about me? And I used to think I could make somebody happy and make somebody mad. I thought I could do that, and I took that onto myself. And now we stay in play. And it's Maddie who teaches me that. Having the daughter, having a child in my life reminds me to play. All of you have children in your lives, and you get to have that same honor bestowed upon you. Even if you're being sprayed by, the cat sprayer because you're saying the ant word again, or whatever. It's awesome, and this is an honor that we've been all given. And the fact that we were all put together at the same time. And it's very amazing if you pull back and look at how it's occurred, you know. And I was prepared. I was prepared for you too, for the both of you, by somebody I was meeting with regularly for a time, explaining to me this person was a dream interpreter, and they explained to me that if you use the dictionary that you use for dream interpretation in your everyday real life, you'll actually get to find the code and understand what you're being guided to do by spirit in every direction of you. And just as I got that like seed planted, all of a sudden code breakers came into my life. You know, you guys know, audience, you guys know I just blah 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 blah. This is what happened. And then no, and wow, and dude. And then they tell me what happened, and they're my dream interpreter people in a lot of ways. And it's just been such a fun recipe having the three of us together. I really don't want it to end, but I can tell Stacey's getting tired and I can tell my butt's getting numb because I'm sitting on the floor. And I'm pretty sure Elsa's got a flat butt too. But I just, like I don't want it to end. But we can go as long as you guys both want to. But I'm pretty sure you both look like you're getting close to being done. You're
It's
welcome to
probably
share more.
quite late over here now. I don't know. I know we've been talking some, and I wouldn't want to go, but yeah, it's probably time for me to
Well,
find where
just
everyone's gone.
thank you for having this today. This has been fun. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the crazy lady. Even though everything goes on, I am the crazy lady in the family. And they nickname me the crazy. What's crazy lady up to now? Oh, she's in on Zoom. What's she talking about? She's talking about rubbish. I just want you to know though, so 5 is the question mark, which is the sack, which is to cut, which is to question, which is 2 when you spin it in the cupboard on the hook.
Yeah.
So there's 2 questions. There's this question and this question. This is your will. So when you're in fifth element mode, when you're in the supreme being, you can have just knowing that you have the 2 questions is powerful enough. Even if you actually don't have an answer to either the this version of 5 or this version of 5, because there's 2, it doesn't matter. Just knowing that you have that choice of the questions, and as you need it, it will come. So, and if it doesn't, I'm going to go clean out our drawer. I know we have four drawers. I'm going. The kids are
True.
going to be going, oh my God, what happened in that Zoom? That Stacey said something. Oh, thank you so much, both of you.
I've just created 2 junk drawers. I started 2 junk drawers here. I'm like, okay, I got extra drawers. These will be junk drawers. Just like
Yeah.
twist ties in there so far.
I'll send
Well-
stuff.
Send stuff to go in the junk drawer.
I'll send you some.
But it'll be like this thing. Instead of going to the altar, we'll go to the junk drawer.
Oh, the
We'll
junk
find
drawer.
Just see us doing this.
The mighty junk
Oh,
Oh,
you
guys are the
thank you
best.
so much. It's been so awesome. I've missed you guys in this format, and it's always an honor. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. Go
Same.
chaos now.
Thank you.
I will.
We're full of toddlers.
I'm not going to say bye. Mela, you're going to have to say bye and end us because I can't do it. That button's
All
too
right.
hard.
Thank you all for joining our call today. It's been so much fun. I've been watching the comments. I didn't get a chance to ask Elsa about Sparrow, Trina, but for Elsa to maybe comment later on, if you wouldn't mind, he felt like it. She's been having sparrows running into her windows and dying. And so that's some kind of code. If you know what the answer to that is, that would be helpful.
Birds are angels, and they cross over really quickly. It's very disturbing, I have to say. But if they're crossing through glass, this is a big message. So have a look. Are they crossing on your left, your right, your front yard, your backyard? Is it crossing? Is it hitting you front on or side on? But a sparrow is a spinner. Sparrows spin, and they bring. They can look like bats. So,
Yeah.
yeah, sparrow. Follow the word sparrow. It will come, but they're crossing through. So maybe you're crossing through a few realms. You're shattering through realms. Are they cracking the glass? Are they leaving an imprint? Is there something in the imprint on the window? Because sometimes they leave a message. Yeah, so just look at everything. Go out and give it the attention that they're trying to give you.
Right.
Yeah, that's my message for Sparrow there.
Thank you.
As disturbing it can be, yeah, dead
She was
is
concerned it was a warning. She was like, "Is this a
No.
warning?"
well, it is a warning, but dead is 2 after death. Two
Right.
after death. So it's 2 add. That's what dead is. So dead is the 2 of. It comes back to the 2 of you.
Wow.
The C act. There's Dr. Joe again. C act. The witness, you and the witness of you. So the soul, the being of you here, and the spirit. Yeah, 2 streams. DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
So don't worry about.
and every
Sparrow.
time Spirit
It's
talks
okay.
about the banks that there's always 2 of them. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you need the banks, right, to keep the streams separate, so then they come together. Yeah.
Wow.
So then when the streams come together, it creates the Y, which is the 3 and the 4, which is Mela message all over, which is heaven. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep seeing the messages, as hard as some of them can be, like the dead sparrows. But go and give them attention. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mela.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And there's a lot of awesome other animal questions that we do need to get going. Maybe I'll do a live one time where we'll just answer questions about animals. I got a whole dictionary about them. You know, and
The
like
book.
the book. Oh, the book.
I know. We should get like sound effects and some smoke, Yeah.
talcum powder.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you
I
all
love
for
you
joining
guys.
today. This has been beautiful. Thank you, everybody in audience, for being here. And this was just so much fun. So it's just, I have a lot of fun sharing this with other people as well. So um, know that you're okay. The energies coming through are intense right now. Like we just went from a really incredible summertime day to it's a like a typhoon looking out thing going on out there. We got all kinds of shifting happening, and leading into I would say that we're already feeling the energy of Monday starting already. So the best suggestion I could come up with if someone asked me what to do, water and rest and salt in whatever order feels correct to you. That's all I can. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. So I'm going to be doing. So thank you all for joining. It's going to be awesome. No worries, no scares. We're in this. It's going to be a blast. Thank you. I know that this has been kind of difficult lately, but we're in the place of it getting better. So thank you all for being in this journey with us. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Elsa and Stacey, for being my sisters and being in this call. I love you. Aho blessing.